Hi everybody, it's Steve Halley here with the Family Peace Initiative, and welcome to the October edition of the Facilitators Tool Chest blog. It's hard to believe that we're already in fall. Next month when I'm making one of these, it's possible that there'll even be snow on the ground in November here in Kansas, and I'm not sure I'm quite ready for that. But today I want to talk with you about pursuing authenticity and genuineness in your program with your group participants. I tell you, years ago when we were getting started in the world of battering intervention, I have to tell you that Dorothy and I had a curriculum and we understood what our mission was. We were going to help people change their attitudes and beliefs and help them to become accountable for their abusive and cruel behavior. And that's what we set out to do. And we got very good at teaching our group to say what we wanted them to say. And when they did, when we had somebody who said, oh, my belief was that I'm the king of the castle and I'm the man of the house and I have the right to punish you to get my way, we would smile and feel validated that we are doing a good job because our group members are telling us what we wanted to hear. And then we ran into Chloe Madonis and her work. She said something that really has stuck with me ever since. She said, the way I look at for genuineness and authenticity is, are the people I'm working with telling me things that I have no way of knowing? Right? So when someone's being accountable, are they being accountable for the things that I know of, that are on the police report, that have been reported and documented, or maybe they have spoken about earlier, but are they also adding things to their list of cruelty and abuse and violence that I had no way of knowing, that they offered them because they're looking at themselves and they're reflecting on their own past and history and not just telling us what we already know and what we want to hear. Right? And so I want you to know that it's a real risk to teach your group how to say what you want them to say, because that's not really evidence of positive change, right? That's not evidence that they're reflecting on themselves. It's evident that they're listening to, how does this system work? How do I get by in here? How do I stay off the radar and look like I'm doing a good job and maybe feel like I'm doing a good job, but I'm not really reflecting on my own life? And so we start, when we pursue authenticity, when we're pursuing genuineness with those in our groups, we start with mad, sad, glad, and afraid. Because generally speaking, people are fairly comfortable talking about being mad. I'm mad at my partner, I'm mad at my court service officer, I'm mad at my BIP facilitator. They're also generally comfortable about speaking about glad. I'm glad that the Kansas City Chiefs won their game finally after losing 2 in a row, and I'm glad that I got a raise at work, and I'm glad that I got a day off come Sunday because I've been working too many hours in a row. We can talk about that all day long. But generally speaking, it's hard for people, in our groups especially, to talk about sad and afraid. Those come into what we call the adverse feelings. The adverse feelings are those feelings that we don't want to feel, that we wake up in the morning hoping we don't have to feel, and we have a plan for how to avoid talking about them, feeling them, and if we do, avoid other people recognizing that that's what we're feeling. And so in a battering intervention group, pursuing genuineness and authenticity many times it starts with, wow, that sounds like you're really afraid. What's that fear about for you? Wow, that sounds like you're really sad. What's that sadness mostly about? Or, wow, I'm hearing that you're really angry. What are you most afraid of happening if things don't change? We can walk into with simple questions to pursue the adverse feelings just by simply being curious and asking questions and understanding how adverse feelings drive our behavior and how we are designing systems to avoid them. But as we become less afraid of our own feelings, we become safer for those around us. And so we pursue authenticity and genuineness in our conversations. I'm not really wanting people to tell me what I want to hear. I'm wanting them to have a space where they can come and talk about themselves in a way that probably they can do in no other place in their life, and maybe never even had people ask these questions to them in their lifetime to really be interested. We see that with the juveniles we work with the incarcerated women we work with, and with those who batter. When we start asking questions that start with mad, sad, glad, and afraid, we end up in conversations where people say, I've never told anybody this. I've never talked about this before. No one's ever asked me that before. Those are powerful conversations to have. And so authenticity and genuineness, the doorway into those conversations, are the facilitator's ability to see the feelings behind the defense systems, to see the feelings that lie behind the surface feelings, the ones that we're comfortable showing. So I want you to know that it feels good when group members say what we want them to say, when they are just feeding back to us what we're teaching them, and we think that somehow has been integrated into their lives and they're going to be safer human beings. And I would argue that might be true sometimes, but powerful change happens when people become authentic and genuine and are able to explore themselves, their own story, their own emotional experiences, and how they spend their time protecting themselves from having to feel what they don't want to feel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to what I might have to offer. I look forward to seeing you guys again in November. We'll put another one of these out then, and then we'll start getting ready for the holidays, and time keeps marching on. See you guys again soon.